Long time coming for this special occasion. Approximately 8 years ago, a group of us from the Iowa Art Pottery Association traveled to this very spot to see what there was remaining of the Roseville Pottery Works, which we knew had been raised a number of years ago. And the story, I think, is kind of interesting because when we photographed, we could figure out approximately where Roseville Pottery was. We knew the river was here, we knew there were train tracks, and the only remaining feature of the pottery was an old concrete loading dock, which was right here. And so we drove down the road. Mark Latta and Marie Latta were with us. We drove past here and suddenly we found ourselves out of town. We knew we were too far. So we doubled back, and there, lo and behold, under the vegetation was the remnant of the concrete loading dock, which no longer exists now, as we're standing here. So nothing exists now from the Roseville Pottery Company. But about 5 or 6 years ago, we were able to locate the concrete loading dock where every piece of Roseville pottery, over 1 million pieces of pottery, passed over that loading dock to be shipped all across the country. Roseville pottery was the most important and successful pottery in the United States. It started in 1890. It was closed its doors in 1954. The Linville Avenue plant was built here in 1910. I have a piece of pottery that actually predates the Linville plant. This is from approximately 1904, 1907. I wanted to bring an early piece for everyone to kind of see what Roseville pottery was doing in the early days. In any event, when we came and found the concrete loading dock, we went out into the fields here before there were any storage units or this building or anything. The Roseville pottery plant was spread over 16 acres, and it had 4 buildings, 4 main buildings and others. And you'll see an aerial view here in the brochure that shows the general size of the plant. Now, this is a funny story because yesterday I was talking with 2 Pottery Lovers people, Terry and Len Sr. Terry and Len, raise your hand. Terry and Len Sr. have been coming here for years, and they had the exact same story. They came and looked for the pottery works, found nothing, went out in the field, and some of you just now had gone over to this little, looks like a backhoe area and found shards. Well, we found shards, and that, of course, verified that this was the site of the Roseville pottery plant. However, it was covered with poison ivy, and so we remarked that it was poison ivy then, and when we were here, and 10 years ago when you were here, you found the same famous pottery. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I'd like to make some introductions. Howard Zwelling, the mayor of Zanesville, was fortunate, we're all fortunate, that his appointment in Columbus canceled for today. And I appreciate you coming, Howard. This is very important for all of us from around the country. And I would think that it would be important for the people of Zanesville to have us all remember with fondness. First of all, I want to welcome you all to one time world, and we're very proud of it. We have a very rich history. Zanesville, Montgomery County, in southeastern Ohio. We're the second capital of Ohio for a brief period, and our courthouse was the site of the state legislature meetings and so forth at that time. We are thrilled each year to have you folks here, and this is a great reminder of our historical heritage and how pottery has played a key role in this, and you kind of revived it, you keep it alive for us. So we're proud to have you here, and we welcome you back year after year. We're looking forward to this historical marker being unveiled in a few minutes. So enjoy Zanesville. We're a town on the move. We've got over $500 million worth of development going on in Zanesville and Muskegon County right now. We're happy with our present, and we're extremely happy with our past. And again, welcome to Zanesville. Thank you all for coming. Thank you so much.
And Ted did call me. I think we talked yesterday. Let me know he's here today. The American Art Pottery Association is just what it is. It's an association of people who just have a passion and a love for art pottery. We come to Zanesville as part of a group that really is the Pottery Lovers, and Joe will be talking in a little while about the reunion we have here every year. But one of the things that I think we take for granted is we come out, we put a bunch of pots in our room, we do a show, we sell them, and a lot of times we overlook the historical part, how we got here, why we're here, what made us be here, because without this factory here, in 1910 up until 54, we wouldn't be in Zanesville. And when I heard about this, at first I didn't quite understand the significance of it, and I think now I understand a little bit more of the history of it, why I'm here. It's not all about just selling pottery, it's about teaching my son and the future generation about what the history is of Roseville pottery. I have a personal attachment to this because we started with Roseville. My wife Barbara and I started with Roseville. We never collected anything but Roseville, so this is kind of special to me, and even though I've branched into some other things, Roseville's still our main love. And you sell out of your room and you pack up at the end of the week, or the end of 2 weeks in my case, and you go home, but this is here forever, and anybody going by can see it. Maybe it'll just, maybe one person that stops and reads it and picks up a book at a library and finds out a little bit more about Roseville, and as it goes on, it's going to keep us coming back here for many, many, many years. So I want to thank Ted and the whole Iowa State Pottery Association for doing this, because without things like this, I don't know how long art pottery can go. And I think with things like this, we can continue to come back here and spend our summers in Zanesville, our vacations in Zanesville forever and ever more. So Ted, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. When I read over the brochure and the materials from the Ohio Historical Society, it indicated that we should really have a program and kind of make it into a bigger deal than really I first envisioned. And of course, we planned this ceremony to coincide with the Pottery Lovers annual reunion, which is a week long each year here in Zanesville. A lot of us have been here, coming back year after year. Mark and Marie Latta from Iowa, from where we're from, have been back, I don't know how many years, 20 years perhaps. It's a wonderful place to come to. Joe, can you tell us a little bit about your organization and how that fits in with the pottery interests of this area?
Sure. We've been coming to Zanesville on an annual basis for this next year will be our 30th year coming to Zanesville. We're very honored to be here today, and Roseville Pottery, for the most part of the people that have been coming for 30 years, plays a very important part. We've always considered Zanesville to be the pottery capital of the world, with all the major potteries, being right here in Zanesville. And for me, and I think I speak for most pottery lovers, I've been coming myself to Zanesville for 18 years. Every year in July, I've been here, I said the first year I came that I will, every single year for the rest of my life, I will be in Zanesville in July unless I'm not able to come. And for 18 years I've came. I almost consider Zanesville my home away from home, and I think a lot of people do. We became friends with many of the collectors